All right, friends, love them knives here. We got the Manixes, the Manix 2 XL in M4 steel. It's good stuff. It was a BladeHQ exclusive. It was there, it was gone. It was gone quick. These things disappeared so fast. And I wanted them so bad. But I was talking to a friend of mine 2 or 3 weeks ago. At least 2 weeks before these dropped in June. I was talking to my buddy going, why don't they, they do all this stuff with the Manix. Why don't they do it with the Manix 2 XL, the big Manix? I like that knife, but I don't see it getting, pimped, exclusive, sprint runs, whatever. So he says, oh, by the way, since you mentioned it, yeah, and so here we go. So they did come out, and I was dogging it. I'll tell you what, I just had my expectations so high because I definitely wanted to get this knife. So I was there, I was ready, I was on the computer, ready to go when these things did. Oh man, this got nice action. Almost bounced off the stop, didn't it? Whew. Big old knife, 4-inch blade, 9 inches overall. Not a super lightweight, but 5-point-something ounces. 4-inch blade, 100 millimeter, 9-inch overall, almost 23 centimeters, at least 22 and a half. And then it's only really got 3.17 millimeter blade, 11.65 millimeter, which is 0.45 of an inch, and this being, an eighth of an inch, 0.125, basically, right there. So, ooh, nice. You like the black blade with the black liners and the black hardware? Is that good looking? Right or left hand tip up carry, no tip down carry available, and that's just fine with me. Nice lanyard hole, jimping, 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 jimping. How many times did I say that word? Jimping. A lot of jimping. Very comfortable. Ergos are great. Okay. And of course, you've got such an easy lock mechanism to go. Really nice. It's truly ambidextrous when you switch it over to the left side if you're a left-hander. It's just as comfortable. Now, where the print is on the blade would be reversed, but for the way you carry it, if you carry it left-handed and you have it like this, but who cares, right? Whereas a liner lock or a frame lock, that lock bar is going to be on that side with the pocket clip. And even if you can switch the pocket clip to the other side, you still got the lock bar that is there for right-handers, whether it's a liner lock or a frame lock, unless you actually get a true frame lock knife that is set up for lefties where the lock bar would be on this side. And some manufacturers do that. But this is truly ambidextrous. No worries, mate. Right there. Look at that. Love the natural G10 translucents. These would be easy to dye as well in almost any color you wanted. So you could make them red. You could make them blue. You could make them whatever. But I don't know. This is an exclusive, so I want to keep mine factory original. Plus, I do like this natural G10 color. I think it's really handsome. So I call it jade sometimes, but it's just a natural G10. And it's got texturing here. It's nice. So it's grippy. Not only grippy everywhere here, but also, like I said, the ergos, perfect here for my finger. Everything else right here runs right into there. I'm good, okay? And if I want to move up, I can move up. And if I want to cut something, this is M4. It's going to hold an edge for a long time, but it's really sharp. And Spyderco knives I've got have all been really sharp from the factory, and wow, it just sings right through that paper. And you know what? I got one of each. I really thought I'd be lucky just to get one, period. but I was happy to get one of each because I think this is worth putting on camera. The one with the black blade, I'm not big with black blades necessarily, but it's kind of handsome. It really pops with that natural G10, doesn't it? Oh, it's a big dog though. So much bigger than the regular Manix. So much bigger. Nothing wrong with the regular Manix. And this makes more sense to carry, etc., etc. But I've got sensible knives. Now it's time for the big dogs to come out. But let's say there is some sensibility in a bigger knife. You've got more cutting edge. What if you need to go deeper into a product that you're cutting? Yes, you've got that length of blade. This may not be enough for some cutting chores yet, but it gives you much more than the smaller knives do. 5.26 ounces. It's not 6, you know, it ain't 4, but I don't think that's that bad, actually. I think that's a pretty good accomplishment at 150 grams. And take a look, you know, in the inside. I'm not going to take this one apart. I really don't feel like it, man. I really don't. I guess I could if I wanted to, but I really don't. I don't like it when I get into these mechanisms like this and you start tearing all this apart, and you got to go both ways, everything. And then this is pressed through. These scales are pressed into this lanyard tube here. So, I mean, I've done it before, but it's not my favorite thing to do. And really, to tell you the truth, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But looking at the liners, they're skeletonized pretty heavily, so you're in good shape there. You can see kind of the mechanism with the spring there, but whew, just real easy to Spidey flick, open with that thumb hole, just wonderful to operate. Not that heavy, but boy, what a full-size beast it is. And the satin, I really like it. Although, man, there's not a lot of chromium in there. You know, BladeHQ, what did I pay for it? $154.95. But you know, it was more than that because I think I paid tax on it. So I think I paid another like $10 for tax. And I don't think I had to pay shipping. Can't remember now. But I kept thinking this black one was close to like $185 all in with everything. So I guess I could have showed my receipts, but there you go. I mean, it's really a good looking knife. 5.2 ounces. Okay, you're right. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Okay, nice. 3.875 inch blade, close to 4. The Mega Manix. And if you look at the manufacturer or on a site about M4 high-speed steel, you know, you can see this right here where they talk about, and it's a real fine grain type steel, and there's your carbon and your chromium. The chromium, it's definitely not stainless, right? If it was 14%, yes, it would be, but it's not. But look at the vanadium, 4.1%. So yes, you got it. You got it. And they're going, you know, you could crank this baby right up to a 65 HRC. And that would be interesting. You know what? I guess I'm going to have to get a Rockwell number on this one. This one would be a little tougher to tell because of the coating. That can affect the number. But this one should test true. And we got a nice flat space to be able to test it. So I'm going to have it poked just to see. See if it's a 63, 64. I'm betting it would probably be around a 63 if I had it run, but we'll see. And of course, what's nice is on these exclusives that you have done, and here's, you know, here's the box, here's the label. Okay. But you know, you can pause and read this. This is really nice as well that Spyderco does this. They talk about the specific knife that you're buying, the Manix 2 XL in CPM M4, you know, a crucible powder metallurgy going on here. This should be really nice and clean with a very fine grain structure. Should hold up wonderfully, except, you know, you gotta be careful in humid climates and exposing it to wet conditions, which is probably an argument for the coated. You know, they're doing that on a lot of M4, and yes, there's a good reason for it. But for me, I live in the desert, dry climate, and I'll keep it wiped down. So I don't think I'm going to have any problem with it. So I'd love to talk about all the Spyderco stuff. You know, I need to do that on another video. Take out the Native Chief, which is a new favorite of mine, but also the amalgam is great. It's kind of like what the military should have been. Compression lock and tip up availability on a big knife. But if that's what you're looking for, you know, instead of the military, get the amalgam, okay? So the military I like, tip down I don't, and I don't like the liner lock thing. So I'm really not that big on the military, although I love the fact that it's a big knife, it's fairly light, it's got good ergos. I just would like to find a solution to the pocket clip, you know, and it'd be great if it was a compression lock or something like this would be nice as well, wouldn't it? So I'm just waiting to see if Spyderco someday will change the military. It'd be really interesting. I would like to see the amalgam come out in a sprint run with different colored scales and different type of steel, but we will see the Native Chief come out in not only an S90V, but also in a Rex 45, CPM Rex 45 with orange scales, and that will be mine. It will be mine. And then, of course, I've got the Shaman fever, so we'll see if I can build up a few Shamans over time. But the Shaman's really nice, rounded, great knife to have. So I'm going to quit talking about all those other knives that I ain't got on the table right now because I wanted to talk about the Manix XL. But it's got great balance to it. It's got lots of jimping, lots of comfort, very structural, very sound knife, very usable flat grind, piercing, slicing. How can you fault it? Is it too big? Well, then get the Manix. Is it still too heavy? Well, then get the Manix lightweight. Maybe they ought to make an XL lightweight. Would that be cool? That might be interesting. So, yes, the black blade. Then you got black liners, black hardware. So it really kind of pops with those scales. Really nice. Okay, I'm gonna quit raving. But yeah, you can see I'm excited. I like the Manix 2XL, and with this exclusive, not sprint run, with this exclusive that BladeHQ did. Thank you so much, BladeHQ, for doing this. And I hope it comes out in Rex 45 or something else. Maybe maybe a CPM 10V. Anything would be really cool to see it. Maybe an M390 would be nice, or a 20CV. Blue scales. Whatever. Would be great. All right, I'm going to let you go. Have a great day. And you know what we do around here? We love them knives, so you guys stay sharp.